know that the prayers that have been made in this place, they reached heaven. We expect an answer, Lord. You promised us in your word, we receive it right now in Jesus' name. Teach us your word tonight. Lead us through your spirit in every aspect of our lives. In a different attitude altogether. Worship and glorify the Holy Spirit in our lives. Thank you, Father, in Jesus' name. And let the church say, Amen. While we are still standing, let's just hold any Bible means that you use to read the Bible. Hold it in your hand so that we make this confession. As I always say, this confessionary is not just a norm. We make a confession, but reactivate the Spirit who wrote the word to interpret the word. Just say, this Bible, it is God speaking to me. I believe, I receive the word of God as the truth, nothing but the truth for my life right now, in Jesus' name. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Come on, look at your neighbor, tell them I love you and I love you and I love your neighbor. Come on, tell them with the love of Jesus. Tell somebody, be blessed. Something good, it's about to happen to you in Jesus' name. Thank you so much that you made time to be here. We are not going to waste your time. We'll try by all means, or within the 30 or 45 minutes that the time that God has allocated us, to use it effectively. As we know, it's midweek service. It's what we call faith refresher. Let's talk about faith. The purpose of midweek service is to quicken your faith. I know during the week, we'll challenges to the faith to quicken your faith. Quickening your faith, it's one baraholetseng go di plaseng mollo ha no sa tuki no tlo butswela ke lo butswela ebe matlhasenyane nna teng ebe mollo o tshwara. So that's what you are doing to quicken your faith. Ba bangala ke bua yana since Sunday ke rera Monday Tuesday it's enough. E ka re beke ka fela. The way mathata lenga mantsi ka teng. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it doesn't mean everybody's okay the way we see them, but we try by all means so that we quicken your faith. The Bible says the grass one day will wither and the flowers will fade away, but the word of our God shall stand forever. Allow me this evening to talk to you on the subject airing faith. Faith makes prayer to work. Prayer does not make faith to work. Faith makes your prayer to work. So as a tapelo tumelo ibereka. I'm not undermining the power of prayer, but you can pray for the whole night. But how rapid na tumelo? Guess what? You are just making a noise. Tumelo kione yetsang hore tapelo ki rapelang yetseng ibereke mo bophelong ba ka. James chapter number 2. We are reading from verse number 14. James chapter 2, verse number 14. Faith makes prayer to work. Faith makes prayer to work, not prayer that makes faith to work, but faith. I know that you are a prayerful person. You've been praying some other things that haven't yet came to pass. It doesn't mean just put faith in what you are praying for and it will happen. James or verse 14. What is the use, my brethren, for anyone to profess? Profess is to confess. To confess is to speak things katumelo. To profess, to have faith if he has no good works to show for it. Can that faith save you? Ithusa ngoro bona le tumelo, mara tumelo eo is na diketso. Ana tumelo eo it is a result na. That's the question that he raises. I know that you believe. Mara, can we attach action to what you believe? Because tumelo is not the action. Can it save you now? Is the question that James raises. Verse number 15. If a brother or sister is poorly clad and lacks food for each day, verse number 16, and one of you says to him, goodbye, keep yourself warm and well fed, without giving him the necessity for the body, what good does that do? That's ordinary ministry or vision of love. Because we realized outside the four corners of the church, there is a brother, there's a sister who lacks food. There it is, verse number 15. They lack food. Each and every day, there are people who lack food. And or pollution tata, goodbye, man. tse ke nang le tsone di lekane nna fela, we can't share. Tse tsa gore bana ba motho ba kgaona tlho ya tsie ke tsa lena Batswana, nna mo rena ha di bereke. So one of us will say to them, goodbye, keep yourself warm and well fed, but without giving him the necessity for the body, meaning without meeting the needs for the stomach or the question is, what goose is that for you as a Christian? That's the question that James alekang ho raise. Na sa buile batho fela, na bolela le batho ba ba nang le tumelo. Ska lebala, the foundation ya the kingdom e re le mo yone ke lerato. Le before tumelo e nna teng, there must be love. Lord ke bere ke ipitse mozalwane ke pholositswe is because John 3:16 modimo on thatile a mpona ke le kgamatetse dibi ebe a niela ka bo yene, and he died on the cross for me, so that, but the key thing ya hore for Jesus to die, it was love. For God so loved the world. So the foundation of the kingdom that we are in is about love. So the question is, if we don't meet their needs, what good is it to us? Hi, verse 17, or so also your faith, if it does not have works to back it up. Amplified. You can't say back up. How do you back up your faith? By works. If your faith doesn't have works to back up, that's what I'm going to do in the coming weeks. If your faith has no evidence, it's fake. Faith. That's no evidence. You are just faking it. You are just faking it. It's not happening. So if your faith does not have works to back it up by itself, that faith, it's destitute of power, or it's inoperative, or that faith is dead in your King James Version. If tumelo ya hao haina diketso to back it up, that faith is as good as dead. O tshwere setopo sa tumelo. How do I back up my faith? Through actions. What kind of actions? Actions associated with love, with what I confess. So kana la rapela di 21 days, it's okay, I'm not against it. Like kana la fasta 40 days and 40 days, I'm not against it. But if there are no actions, o fasta it's mahala. You just did things because there must be actions attached to those things. You remember, Jesus na le barutwa ba hae ba tswa Bethany ba ya ko tempeleng ko Jerusalem. Ha feta o bona setlhare sa feiye, ke boletse ka one many times, silly green, mara a gona lungo la feiye. Why? He's hungry to look at the fruit. Ha tsena mola o kra ele fela green leaves. There are no fruits. What did he do? He spoke to the tree. No man from this day shall eat from you from this day onwards. Then he left at Zamaya Baya go tempeleng. Ha tsena go kra batla di daise ba rekisa ba hwipa ba ntsa go ntla ko lomaga tempele bushu ba wela Bethany. Tomorrow morning when they pass by the road going to the temple again to Jerusalem, Peter, one of the disciples of one of that tree, dried up, not from the leaves, from the roots. Ora Jesu in remembrance. Jesu, remember yesterday the fig tree that you spoke to has dried up from the roots. Then Jesus was okay, fine. Now I'm going to teach you a lesson. Now when you pick up that lesson from Mark 11 verse 22, Obara, for you to do what I did, number one, have faith in God. I know you are praising me. It's not me who dried up the fig tree from the roots. It's my faith in God that did that. So if you want to imitate me of what I did yesterday, do what? Have faith in what? In God. It's one of somebody who give a illustration. Okay, here's my car keys. Ne? Here's my car keys. Here's my car keys. All of you, you've got cars. Now you need to go to Northam. You can use your cars, Nal Petrol. Mara, today I told you, don't use your car. Take my car keys and use my car. You've got your own car, but take my car and use it to go wherever you want to go. I know you've got your faith. Mara, take God's faith and use it. That's what it says there. I have faith in God. That means operate ka faith ya. Operate ka faith e leng gore the source ya teng ke mang ke modimo. Have the God kind of faith. How does it function, the God kind of faith? Even from Genesis 1, God created everything by faith. I mean, how did he know in Genesis 1:3 when he says, let there be light, that light will come forth? Only faith made him to speak like that. And guess what? Light doesn't have choice. He created everything by faith, by just speaking things into being. There's nothing that he made with his hands. He spoke things into being. It's faith. So, the God kind of faith. That's why the only faith that surprises God, in the future, preview August. Master, I've never seen such a great faith. That's when somebody spoke things. You remember the centurion man? Jesus, don't come to my house. Just speak your word wherever you are, my servant will be healed. Jesus, Master, this guy is not even an Israelite. I've never seen such kind of faith from an outsider. Even those who are in my kingdom, the Israelites, they don't operate at such kind of level of faith. So, get the faith ya modimo e bolelang dilo. Na re tlwaetse re tshwantse ha moruti a tlo nrapela tshwantse a tlo go ntlong a mpie matsogo mara a kara no tshwara mo lempedi mo teng ke rapele mo founung ga o je monate o fila kare ha e bereke. That is the lowest form of faith. But the highest one is when you speak things into the spirit. So have the same kind. He spoke to the tree and it dried up from the roots. So have the same kind of faith that God has. Verse number 23. And truly I tell you, whosoever or whoever, what I like about faith, that is whosoever. It's onge. Anybody. It doesn't matter how educated you are. It doesn't matter how uneducated you are. It doesn't matter whosoever. So whosoever can touch the mountain, can say. Remember the God kind of faith. It speaks things into being. It doesn't touch physically. Whoever can say to this mountain, what is a mountain to you? That pain that the doctor told you cannot be healed. It's a mountain. Sonda. What about the next 3 weeks of this month? That's a mountain. It's a mountain. It's a mountain. Mararato solve this mountain by the physical resource. We don't like speaking to the mountain. All that we like is speak about the special. So bua ka mathata. Yes. Tsatsi ka boela re bua ka mathata. Mara ha re buile mathata. You don't like speaking to this mountain. So towards the end of this month or September, Nampoza are building unless we say something. And I could not join and I got 8 days of Hafiana Gamohari. So I'm worried about you, Hori. Can you come to that level where we speak to these walls? I mean, I have Marisia, I get Lavona Gopilo, is whoever says to this mountain, be lifted up, be thrown into the sea, and guess what? Does not doubt, not in his head, in his heart. Remember Romans 10:10. With the heart I believe, with the mouth I confess what I believe. You remember that, ne? So that means in the seed, in the ground that is called the heart. That is yours, Kamohari. So once the heart is filled up, that's why Matthew 12, out of the abundance, what happens? The mouth will speak. I couldn't pretend. Whatever I'm gonna go darling pumpkin, sweetie pie, whatever. Because Piluirang it leads. When I come back to my senses, it was a slippery of a time. I did not mean it, but you meant it because it came from your heart. Only fed up. That's why I'm too fed up. All fed up. You speak. The heart doesn't. So you don't doubt in your heart, but you believe that whatever you say will take place. Guess what? It will be done for you. It's there in the Bible. It will be done for you. The foundation of today, verse 24. For this reason, I'm telling you, whatever me, you ask for in prayer, believe that it is not going to be granted, but it is already granted to you. And guess what? You will get it. Listen to this. It doesn't say you don't believe. You believe after you pray. That is not what the Bible is saying. Verse 24. For this reason, I'm telling you, whatsoever things that you ask right now, in prayer, right now, believe for everything that you have asked right now, it has already been granted to you. And guess what? You shall. Mara Bibili immediately at that moment. Believer at that moment, or whatever I'm asking from God is granted to me, and I shall have it. So that means I can pray and remove the part that I believe. Do you think it will be granted to me? No wonder why it's taking too long. It's because mara immediately ha o rapela dumela ke bolela le fridge modimo e tletse e felela tamati le metsi ke bolela le yone gore grocery e be filled up, and it's impossible ke 12 o'clock midnight la o telling yelo ya ona le katla la to deliver grocery ka 12 o'clock midnight tseo ke di facts di batle wena believe gore fridge e tletse ka eng ka dijo, and the Bible says you will get them. I've seen it with me. I've seen it. Seen it. Kosna selo montlong. Pina tsa bole botse le before yo pela ne se re ine ke itse le ka tlho gore ha le phirimile o nne ha boroko ke yo pela ke le one day o no utlwa vene phaka mo gate wa re gore if ke moeng go mo fa eng ka ra ona selo kante no ke le ngeloi le tlo deliver dijo, just like that. Immediately after I made a confession in prayer. So these things we have went through them, we have seen them. So don't ever take it light when God says these things. You remember that illustration that I once gave you of this guy, Natswa site is abole palale, atlorera motabazimbi. Hasnarera, kidikerkezela office or but God bless you, as if you were not blessed before you came to that church. That was statement, so I guess, God bless me, I'm already blessed. He uses you to give me money. Bring that money. Don't say God bless you. I'm already blessed. Before I stood up here, I'm already blessed. I was blessed in my mother's womb, by the way. I'm already blessed. So there's no need for you to declare or be blessed. No, when I fulfill the blessing, that's my duty. To fulfill them. I'm not talking about no, you're a plan. You're a joke, move. This guy officer era wa tsama ha lebella le bone mo koloing na no re batla mofa envelope nkile ga rera go kere ke nyengwe ya no ha ke fetsa go rera ra ja mol ke ba bona re ba itse ba ira ya ke re wa bona le rona status a re fitla monna wa bona tshwanetse o ire plan ya no ba itse ba ira byang a bile nna ke tswile mo ne actually ya ne ke ya kwale ne ntse ke sa expecta envelope ne ke no ya fela ke no niela e bang khopotsa mothago mo a santse ke bola ke tlala ke fa di station mara ke tla boa mo ke la war mothago mo santse ke bola ke tlala e le di missionary ba tla America ba tlile ya no ha fetsa re ra ke misa go hoteleng ya no morutu mpha envelope re go mo fa yone ha ke bala mo tseleng ira bo ma 8,000 rands ke a ha re tsena go hoteleng ya ke a ntse ke re ke ba lebo daman we butse ana go bana ona le tšhelete o no eskera wa di daman butse mo envelope no tsama o tla reka di sweets mo tseleng. 8,000 rand was too much by that time. Modimo a wa mpona le moruti a ka mpotsa ba mphile yone beke ke tlhafune ke le one ya no ke tsona ke dio tsa tlala di fela bjana. Now fine e re ke tla mo ya mothakao. So mothakao ha tswa ba mo rile ba re God bless you wa jike wa bona re le bon le laitile ha itse motho mo Thabazimbi na tlo rera mo kerekeng e seng RBC kereke e o la itse ya bo God bless you. Now wa tswa ha fitla to that stop sign sela sa mo total tsela le phala le tshwantse turn left le bone le laitile a ke hana na le tumelo. It's practically impossible for you o bo crossa le go centrum ka se fitli ilo staka koloi o botsa modimo ke a tshepahala me tither a ke ra ho niela ona le di-guts tsa lata modimo o sa niela ona di-guts o se ka tshetsa nako, you are wasting your time. Now o tshwana le ATM, o ka se go ATM o faster the whole night ntse o jura wa tsentsha tšhelete a re hane ke re ratumelo mara tse wa di bereka wa deposita next ka mohare. You can only deposit, you can only withdraw where you have deposited. It's a principle, it's a financial principle, I change. Fine, da man wa bona re modimo a me tither and nka se fihle hae ke tlhorera a ba mpha sene ke expect le batlang fa envelope and then next ebe modimo morare okay fine tsena mo garage ya total. Okay, go tsena mo garage ya total tswante petrol attendant a tlo mpotsisa gore ke tshela boka. It's normal, we know those things. And ha sna tsena mo garage wa emanyana mo khone mola a tsene mo di tankeng mola modimo morare mona tsena o phake motho ka tankele mothakolo wa phaka motho ka tanka yanong o betha ke pelo ha itse o ira yang petrol attendant wa mmona santsana le busy lo mongwe wa tle ke Maria wa tonya yanong ha ntsantse mola o bona ka mo another tank on the other side mosadi o mongwe na metse Range Rover tse tsa o tura latest walla mosadi lo walla modimo morare tswa o che gore mosadi lo lela damane wa tswa go ta mo lefestere ke mosadi a lekho thank you sorry ma'am ke bona walla can I help you mosadi I've just filled up the tank of this car. Kanta was not aware hore tanka ya ke na le gepe ka motasare yar ka tsena mo garage ka reka bata ya 5 rand ka gella petrol le ka itse ya ka o tshela mo kolong nyaka half tank ka tsamaya ka ya hae ka fitla le phalale na ne ke expect hore modimo tlo mpha zaka mara ne nana le plan ro tlo supply ya petrol byang. Just like that, when you pray, believe now that it will take place. And modimo are what you will ke yano ke re ke ela ya hore ba ha ke ja ke ba bona ba tshwere ke stress sa envelope ha ke fetso jebile ke ba laela no re tla bonana ke a tsama ke a tswa about 15 case ke tswile out of that place moruti teng wa phone moruti se tsutswile ke re mara ke le lies moruti ke a tsama mara o ka etsa U10 ke a bo ba mfa envelope lona bona re e tswetse bothateng ene no nengwa itse sa nonang wa bona lo ena kana itse ya le nna ka scanner ka lebella ke bile tsa mamuruti mo khoneng fela re seba ka tsentsa mo potleng ya hae ke a donate ka itsamaela ka ke la muruti lo snacks ya matho ya bona mkholeng tebele zinga de ha so snacks because ke bona re tswetse bothateng so it's a way sow back into their lives. That's how I live, sowing and reaping. Anything se ke se rapella now, I'm expecting an answer now. Mo modimo le mo teng, this thing, TIME, it does not exist. You operate mo leveling ya rona. Kwa, there's no time. I itse lo re ka jeko ke Wednesday. There's no date, there's nothing. Everything is now. That's all Ramusha Morare Tamao Bona by Israel. Musho Mozapoto, Kobara Kire Kwena Mang. Arobara Ore Ke Sen Nagilin Son. Kaskwa, I am. Okay, I am Minang. I am what you want me to be. If you want me to be your healer, I'm your healer. You want me to be your financial provider, I'm your financial provider. You want me to be a restorer, I am whatever you want me to be in your life. So I am, I was, or I will. I am, it's a present tense. This is what you see in me. So that's why Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is not yesterday, not tomorrow. It's a present day. Tonight, 12 o'clock midnight, faith expire. There's a new one coming up tomorrow. So skaspara ya no kita ibirigisa kausani berkakai only for today. That's why John says in 1 John 5:14, or this is the confidence. Another word for confidence is assurance. Remember Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is the what? The assurance, and where the substance. Now Bibele ere. And this is the confidence, this is the assurance, this is the faith which we have in God, in Him. What is this faith that we have? We are rest assured that if we ask anything according to the Bible, As long as ele ka mo ke a hao, ha se ka mo ha se a hao. Don't bother it. As long as it's in the Bible, it's yours. If it's not in the Word, it's not yours. Ke a itse. Ha maikutlwana ma fetile. Rato ngwala Bible e mpšha. I've been through many people ba tla mona ba nya go reasona sebe se ba nyakang go se etsa. Ebe ba se quantify ka Bible nna ke bona re ya suta mara se modimo se boletseng. It's not in the Word of God. And o tlo ipatella go pele. Don't ever do it. Ne? If we ask anything according to his word, guess what? He hears us. So na thapelo modimo sa utlweng. Ke bjang? As long as it's not according to his word, he doesn't hear that prayer. But if it's according to his will for your life, guess what? He hears us. La ka bona e sa khone as long as ele mo Bible ke ya hao ya khoneha. But as long as it's not in the word, don't bother yourself. But the key word again, re na le that confidence, re na le that assurance, re na le tumelo ha re rapela mo modimo. Or ha re rapela o yeng ka thato ya hae etsang wa rutlwa. And verse 15. And since we positively know that God listens to us in whatever, and oskazia whatever wa quantify CV, whatever, as long as it's in the word. As long as it's in the word. The party there, whatever we ask. We also know that we have the request that we made of him. How do we know for sure, or we have that request, is because re rapetse according to his will, by faith. You can pray according to his will, marosna tumelo. It rebusetsa to Mark 11:24. O rapetse mara you never believed what is granted to you. That's why you cannot get it. So once you rapela, man, tsentsha tumelo ka mara dege eo, o ska e bia go khoneng. Dumela hore ke setse ke arabilwe and yera hits right now, and God will grant it to you and it will be done. Luke chapter number 11, if you got a Bible. Open with me, Luke chapter number 11. Luke chapter number 11. Am I making sense? Luke chapter number 11. There's a part of scripture that I want to show you there. Jesu ruta ka tapelo. Luke chapter number 11. We are reading from verse number 1. Luke chapter number 11, verse number 1. Amen. Verse number 1, it says, Then Jesus was praying in a certain place. When he stopped, one of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray, just as John taught his disciples how to pray. In Kopita Sunday School, Lord, teach us to pray. So, command the disciple wa kubileng Jesu. Anyone who can guess? Wa kubileng, what is in this request? Anyone? Why Peter? Why Peter? Ona omama na tumelo. Why Peter? No, inana tumelo is right. Why Peter? Kana modimo tsela metsi mo mongwe mo yang. O nyorilwe Peter na nyorilwe. He was thirsty. Na sa oma na nyorilwe. So I believe le nna re ke ene la ba sa quote re ke mang. Luku ka bo jealous ya sa re bolela mara I believe re ke mang. It's Peter who asked. Verse number 2. And Jesus said to them, when you pray, say this. Isn't do this. Isn't imagine this. Isn't mama this. Ke rato rapela mo pelong morutis ke ka disturba batho. Tshwanetse ke le bona go di restaurant teng. Ha le rapele dijo yele vat. Hamburger yele slag mense. Ha le rapele dijo go di restaurant teng. In a public place, people don't pray for the food. You don't pray. Cross 15 You must say, there it is. Say. When you pray, say. Stop a restaurant there. You don't know that person or not pray. You don't know. Trust me, you don't know. Ska wana ba shena go di cappuccino, go di news cafe ona no ba but ba image ba na le mathata. They needed you to stand by faith and say it publicly. Moruti ke different religion ke tla ba khopisa. So what? So what? So you must say. What do we say? Our Father, not our God. It's a relationship. It's a relationship. That's why I emphasize. Our Father, and not just a general Father. It's my Father. That's why Psalm 23 verse 1, Morena King, Mudisa, I say Mudisa fell in general. It's personal. Our Father who is in heaven. In fact, our rappel, logo high, it personalizes. You're my Father. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Because I tate modimo tlang gomanya ke nna possessive ke papa how be possessive about him. He's my Father. So when our rappel our Father, my Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. The word hallowed is to put something at esteem. Something saying you can't compare anything. Remember Philippians chapter 2, and we were on it last week. Or God gave Jesus a name that is above any other name. This name is higher than any other name. Hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Another context, the image that I am in heaven, let it be done on earth. Remember, the image Yahweh in heaven, you are healed. You've got everything that you need in heaven. Remember Ephesians chapter number 2, you are seated with Christ where? In the heavenly. You in the spirit, you are how penny, how shiana we ring, you are seated with Christ in the heavenly realm. That means everything is going well. You are resting. That's why Mudima created the seventh day. The purpose of the seventh day is anything in the but that day was meant for us to enter the rest of God. Re-enter the rest ya Mudim. So the image in heaven must be done on earth. Number 3, give me this day's daily bread. There's a bread for me for today. Mabambal na lizwila lightly that bread. Ka 12 o'clock midnight, ya expire. Each and every day, tsona mana. There's no way we are more fridge one another. It's meant for today. So give us this day's daily bread. Here he's teaching them how to pray. This is not the Lord's Prayer. It's our prayer. Are tlo lo bitsa the Lord's Prayer. Se thapelo rapetseng ke Jesu. Ke thapelo eneng a ruta rona ho re rapele. So are tlo lo bitsa the Lord's Prayer. Le go skolong I know from primary level ba rutile. This is the Lord's Prayer. Our Father is not thapelo rapetseng ke Jesu. Ke rapelwang ke nna le wena. So is our prayer. Verse number 4. And forgive us our sins, for we ourselves also forgive everyone who is indebted to us. And bring us not into temptation, but rescue us from the evil one. Verse number 5. And he said to them, by the way, ne? Lose that context. Verse number 5. Then Jesus bara are, which of you who has a friend will go to him at night and will say to him, friend, lend me 3 loaves of bread? How kabona ole mo tsika-tsikeng ke sone Setswana ne ole mo tsika-tsikeng ebe o hesitate on founela itse a ke braya hao. I'm not your friend. Net fela ka role mathateng wa re moruti ka mfounela go mo tshwenya o itse I am not your friend. Anybody, why getting unala matata? Ebo mo hopola, ebo tautanyana ro dial number ya hai. That person is not your. You are just pretending to like each other. It's not your friend. Your friend, you won't even hesitate to call them. And there are few in my queue. I'm sure there are about 3 or 4. But I won't hesitate to call them. The rest, kenana abedi hararu. Hage droba phone fela tla ba phone tse skimitsa a ntshenya leina. A tsheha nna na ke stakile mo lefifing ke fotla ke phefo. So Jesus, by the way, he's still talking about prayer. Skara level. Ore ke mang wa lona? We kareng anale chomi. Chomiela ebe hitla itlo kokota kondunya hao a kopa 3 loaves of bread. Ke ra go tonya ona le motho wa go mpetong le coverene ka di juve and wa itse le coverene ka juve go toyi. How ka tsena gap nyane nyana tsa phefo. Hey, you tsele ka blind. E ka re ka and west part kone mo toilet e batle ha mo teng ha o le fela yana le nkutlwile lona ba le hodile ba shingile ho le tla fitla. Verse number 6. For a friend of mine who is on a journey, o tlile ko ntlong ya ka, and I have nothing to put before him. Ke tlile ko lapeng la ko tlo kopa borotho ka 11:30 ya bosigo. Setse le robetse le timile mabone. Ke a kokota and ke chomi engwe ya ka o tlile ko ntlong, and a ke na selo dishopo di tswaletse tse nka mo fang tsone. Ke tlo kopa borotho ko kae ko ntlong ya hae. Verse number 7. And he from within will answer, do not disturb me, man. The door, little gate, it is walete, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and supply you with anything. Wrong. There's no way nka tswa mo mpetong ka tloetsang ka tlo thusa ka lebala Jesu botsa potso re ke mang o analeng chomi. Verse number 5. O boletsa re ke mang o friend ya wana mo re bolla ka friend re bolele ke eng the enemies. Then ola mara ba mara no setse ke tsene mo dikobong ke robetse le bala but there's no way nka tswelang ko ntle. By the way, he's still talking about prayer. Verse number 8. I tell you, although he will not get up and supply him anything because he is his friend, yet because of his ebulela ka chomiolo wa emeng ko gating wa khopelang, or his shameless persistence, then all mompetong he will get up and give him as much as that guy ilola motormona na grobet ola ha give up only le persistent a tswella pele mona kokota phone kuno pa matla ba go di ma di rufu gore mothakola tso o persistent this guy ha tse dilo personal ha give up in kopotsa that Syrophoenician, a Greek woman one ngwana ha ya le possessed with a demon o tla mo Jesu ora Jesu morare Jesu ko potlo nthusa ngwana ke o tsene ke le demon ko hae. She's at the point of death, is about to die. Can you come and heal her? Jesu amara ba morileng nka se di joza bana ke ga di fa di ya ho brakane man. Jesu want I can't do that ke di joza bana ke di fe dimpya. We did it personally. Never. She became what? Persistent, shamelessly slow. No shame. No shame. She became persistent in her asking. Jesus yes, come persistent ka teng. Mosadi o marar man la a ke hane di jotsa ke deserve mara hona le di jotsa di wela mo fa tsetsa mafufura le di brakane di tlo ja ke le buditse mo tafoleng ha o le ngwana kgosi tsa ha o fela ke tsa mo tafoleng ha nna ma e ka wela mo fatshe you don't go there and pick it up ke level ya eng ya dimpya mo fatsheng. So morar level e ke ya dimpya hona le mafufura wa by Israel, on the blessings that left over, I'm willing to take them. That's why Jesus Mararo Kevin, because of your persistent faith, your daughter is healed at home, and at that moment she was healed. Shameless persistence is a character of faith. Lack of faith. Faith is a test. Your faith must be tested. You must be rejected. You must be ridiculed. You must be spoken to. Always, especially in public. It has to mellow. Remember, the higher you go, the colder. It's a general science law. On Mount, everybody wants to be mountain top, but everybody is criticizing you. Loudly right, they don't care. They speak their opinion. Mabanati matunat ke presidente. Eba switch and mutawad switch yes koma ijuru ikokai. But blame my enekare. He's on top of the mountain. Now hano na melataba. Neer hago homanya ebo zedlo personal. Losa le hore. I'm training you for the accusations. So di kriang. That's why modimumo hago fitli malema. The whole population of the world, 5% kione sharing wealth yalefats. We are zillions and zillions of people. Only 5% of the whole population of the world is sharing wealthy. And by share like this, anybody just like that. But it talk about persistent faith. I did feel these things. That's why Isaiah 54:17. Weapons won't be, accusations will be formed against you. But how nale persistent faith, they shall never prosper against you. So Scarlet Lenyalo faced the storm. No. Get Thabo a token persistent faith, just like that. So don't take it personal. It's part of the good. Langa le stories I got give it guy. I'm making up stories. That's why I got chocolate, like a tupula milomalang, like a salad 5. I'm not saying Lezamay. It wasn't shaking. Because I know how to stand alone. I know how to stand alone. When people speak things, that is existing. Because everybody wants to fabricate a story. But I know how to stand alone. So that's why today I can stand. I'm not shaken. Verse number 9. So I say to you, ask. Keep on asking. It might not happen the first time. And it shall be what? Promise. It shall be given to you. It will be given to you. That's why get into the practice of confessing things in public. It might not happen the first day. It might not happen Mara one day you confess something say immediately. Augusta Rabile Legasimo, what we did prophetess mama. I don't know the prophetess message. That is the more Bible. But women of God, actually, when I am more Bible women of God. But this year I'm women of God. Now, Rabile Legasimo, but I'm getting a total of it. Couple last time. What? Utoli wuloro. Why? Maro palesigi leva. Lago hoko nyahao. Lisule fru. Awalezos. Maronya go tsusa motho. O starta somewhere. Martin Luther or faith is not about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the steps. One step at a time. You keep on asking. It might not happen the first day. Buela happy o kopela. Buela happy o kopela. Yes, Lotto ya tonight it's about 40 million. Kala we confess I know now we win. We never like better reviews. Ka fela pelo. Keep as long as mudimo burzore keep on confessing, keep on asking, it shall be given to you. Seek and keep on seeking, and you shall find. You shall find. Especially balasanyala. Seeking a zola. Remember the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, obtains favor from the Lord. For me to find a wife, it's impossible. Batla with all shapes and sizes. Breast size, small, Bible, Haiti, last China, last Kosa, last Swan, last Pedi, Pondo, Wikia Brazilian, manicure, pedicure, IQ, Tokyo. Batla in all shapes and sizes. How do you know which one is yours? Bali pila bo botlben. Apa basadi ba pila mon? Basadi? E ke itse mo kere ke le rato itshwara. Mara mo di khonela dira mo sale bone mo teng. Ba pila basadi. Mosadi o mo pila. O tsikinya monno mollomo. A kenya go joro strombia. Ya o shake ka mahar. Ona le buke ngwe teng na ba bitsa Scotting sadi hele. I don't think body publish it anymore. Ke buka narrate wa ke le timone. Matimona actually meeting. Narrate ke matimona biala, matimona bofebe, matimona what. Ya le timone la bofebe. Le ra matimona manga a biala le bo sekereta ba re a lona le ka se compete leng. Ba lo musoro raya. Ar no, nna ke tsena mo hole. Ar lona ba biala hona le mo sa tsene mo teng. Na President's office ki a tsena. Kontlong ya moruti ki a tsena. Ko hona mo nna ke sa tseneng mo teng le tla tshwara ntsena go etsa mai. Ke a bona ra le ngutlu. Ke a bona ra le ngutlu lona. Ka bona ra le ngutlu lona. I mean ipotse potso why Galatians 5 one of the fruit of the Holy Spirit is self-control. Why do we need self-control from the Holy Spirit? Imagine monna was nang Holy Spirit. Ronaro control ke moya fela he bana mosadi o pile ka dikhefo tse ke mabjana banna e ka reng ka mutswa mara moya o mpotsa gore Thabo sky yana imagine wa sena moya o robala le bona o botlhe ka re ga hona self control mara remove that spirit. I'm telling you bofebe bo tletse mo dipelong tsa rena mo ya roga se re stop le ena monna o mo tshepang gore ke teddy bear ai a le sang khole butsang Davida ile mo khalabe a lwala a ke tsone damana tshwere ke pneumonia ore ke ndamana ya ka ke pneumonia damana a lwala mana thata sela mo dikobong ba sa itse gore ba yo matlela a vision girl wa 16-year-old o santse madi ya ha ya fisa and ha ba mo robaditse mo thoko hamang ha Davida wa ratang basadi damana re la utlwa madi ya fresh ya shena mo mmele ya damana a fola immediately a zoa pelo ba tswela pele kana ne ke le mo gae kana se ke la ntimetsa le all right, keep on asking and you shall do what you shall find. Oh, ne ke explain ila ya he who finds. I cannot find a wife except favor ya modimo it's amaya before me. Hire he who finds and hire a girlfriend or a woman ire a wife. To me, a wife is somebody what's the thing ali married. So that means, Lord, he who finds a wife material in the midst of many women, that person cannot do it on his own. O toka favor ya modimo imu reveal Lord one nete ke mang in the midst of the. So ke leka quantify ya seeking. It doesn't mean ke zola ke free ya o ya modamba ke zola seeking it's in the spiritual realm more than in the physical realm. Kopola moruto mongare raka vesela ya Genesis akela pola modimo sa ira Adam. What is the first task ya feeling Adam? The first task that was given to Adam to name the animals. And moruto la re no naming ya animals gore matlala o tseke di ka re khomotsa go hele go ne di ka kopana. Ha ke fetsa ke la tama maphefo ka di bring tsa go hangano la tiemo tsa ya no go naming animals go free ya basadi. Be careful of them. Be careful of them. Wa itse baruti re yang ntwe ke buang thata ka yone ke yone ke ratang. Go and listen to all the public speakers. Everything ke buang thata ka yone ke yone ke ratang. Ke yone ke ratang. A o tlhokagala. It's very rare nkutla ke bua ka not re ke tlhoile basadi mara it's very rare nkutla ke re thero za bas ke ba firstana mara not ke ba firstana ya mara sembialo mara ona ka ba firstana la ngutlisisa mara zaka yona wa batho modimo kanala ya go le yang go teng. Keep on seeking you shall find. Number 2, knock and keep on knocking and the door shall be open for you. E wela kae? Persistent shameless faith. You don't give up. Skalabala from verse number 1 o teach again prayer. Teach aga prayer. Mara sem prayer fail. Enaling persistent faith kamara yon. So lo ena o rapela make sure you instill persistent faith kamara hao. So ska latlhela toulone. Tswela pele o gatelle. And how studies at the Bible you realize ore Jesu ministry wa hae was centered around prayer. Ministry wa Jesu was centered around prayer. O kono feeder batho ba ba more than 15,000 ka 2 fish le 5 loaves. SABC, Sky News, CNN, ditlile batlo nyo go mo interview. What does he do? Wa withdraw from the crowd o ya go thabeng o rapela. Why rapela? Wa recharge. Tomorrow again, a shilo tsa mamodi mametsi ba maketse ha fetsa wa withdraw o ya go thabeng o rap. Ministry wa high it's centered about prayer. So le nna impotsa re le wena the mission o modimo o bileditseng ona must be centered around prayer. Prayer e tshwana le phone. Phone e tshwere mo letso la bushiwa o robala o etsentsha kae mo chargereng ya charger o empower battery. During the day a ke bua ka dispeta mabaka ke bua ka phone e sharp. During the day phone ela ya bereka ha chargiwe. Mara bushiwa ke robetse ke tsang ke a charger. During the day I do miracles, I'm harvesting. Mara bushiwa ke tsang ke a charge. Ke ntwe Jesu a etsa bushiwa kana o ilo charger motsare kona etsang the miracles out there. So ministry wa high was centered around prayer. Remember Lazarus chomia high wa lwala o lwala bolwetse ba lefu ba romela the message, Jesus, your friend is sick at the point of death. Bebele re a delay going there for about a day or two. Has ne moyo motor Lazaro o robetse or o tlhokofetse in your language. Ebe a re o raba ruto ba a re tsamaye, my friend Lazaro o robetse ko motsosa ke ra motho a tlhokofetse. And a distance ya go Jesu le go teng go fitla ko Bethany, it takes more than 3 to 4 days. You need to watch my half it after about 4 days. John chapter 11, verse number 39. I just want to show you something from there. Then Rafeza now. Oya ko libitleng. Half it ko libitleng. Or take away the stone. Skalabala in those days, nabasaboloke 6 feet underground. Nababoloke inside a cave. Then batsola ka letlapa. So Jesu ile go libitleng. Ke the 4th day Lazaro ba mulukile. And that's an overare, take away the stone. Then Martha, the sister of Lazarus, she exclaimed, but Lord, by this time, my brother Lazarus is decaying, and only an offensive odor. For he has been dead for how many days? For 4 days. For 4 days, this guy. And then how studies a Bible, if you are a student of the Bible, you'll realize, or according to the Hebrew context or the Hebrew beliefs of those days, moto ha tlhokofetse today, nere meya for 3 days, tumelo ke hore, moya wa hae santsane o roama around for 3 days. Ha o na le chance ya resurrection, a ka tsoa within 3 days. Mara 3 days ka fela, ha ona chance ya this guy a ka tsoa. That's why Jesus Obarila are, I'm going to die and be buried, and on the 3rd day I'm gonna hangarle on the 5th day. No bona le problem ya go modumela because you nka tumelo ya bona moya o roama around for 3 days. Ka letsatsi la boraro la feta sa tsoa motho o re o shwele ka nne. So Jesus for 3 days na dila more at the level of their faith so that ba kgone modumela or o tlo boa again back to life. That's why Martha are, he has been dead, meaning chance ya resurrection. If it dilema bane bushiwe ka jo ke tsatsi la bofo no matter ke a itse Jesu na le metlholo mara this one is beyond our control. He's been dead for 4 days. Verse 14. Then Jesus said to Martha, man, did not I tell you and promise you that if ukadumela and rely on me, o tlo bona the glory of God. You can't see the glory of God by works. You see it by what? By believing in God. You'll see what? The glory of God. Verse 41. So they took away the stone. And bona Jesu irang. Bibele ere, he lifted up his eyes and he said, Father, I thank you that ungudwile. Nasa sevi. He spoke it in public. Father, I thank you. Remember, hale ko na le ko teng, o utlwile hore Lazarus o shwele. O raba ruta ba a re eng ko tsosa Lazarus etsang o robetse. So that tell me mo tseleng ha ntsa ya ko Bethany, he's meditating about the resurrection ya this man wa ileng go motsosa kwa yang go teng. So that's why a re papa ke a leboga ko le godimong thapelo yaka o setse o irileng o nkutlwile. Mara verse number 42. Yes, I know that you always hear me and listen to me. How does he know that the modimo wa mulo? By faith, thank you. By faith, simple. How do you know modimo hu? By faith. Hauna physical evidence. Yaro modimo tlile a tseya lengwalo la gabo a ite mara by faith I know that we tsang ungutso le Jesu wa itse by faith hore ntate we tsang o motlwile. That's why modimo mpile revelation. Next rate my second name Samuel. Next rate le go sekolo next ke le teacher am pitsa Samuel. It's only lately about 10 years ago mo modimo mpile revelation. Or what is the meaning of the word? It's a Hebrew name Samuel. Ke ngwana wa Hana. And we yanka context ar na go sekolo barile Samuel mina anyone? ke nnete ngwana a kopile mo modimong ba rutile ya le go sekolo Samuel e mmino re ngwana wa kopilweng because ha no mo kopile kae ko modimo mara the right context ya se Hebrew Samuel e mmina hore God heard modimo o tlwile since kra revelation ela thapelo ya ka modimo ke a leboga o nkutlwe le bitso la ka tshwantse le ye borellong and whatever tse di bitsang tseo just like that modimo ke a leboga re etsang o nkutlwile how do I know by faith I get physical evidence by faith I know but mantswa ke fetsang wa bua ke le Jesu I said this on account of and for the benefit of the people that are standing around me so that they may believe that ke wena o nrometseng kae mo lefatshe aka bua because ke ba qhomela ne ke ba provela hore I am the son of God ya utlwahala ne verse number 43 and when he has said this he shouted with a loud voice Lazarus come forth ke ra monna wa shweleng 4 days ka mo lebitleng and the Bible says and out walked the man who had been dead, his hands and feet wrapped in burial clothes, and with a burial napkin bound around his face. And Jesus said to them, free him of the burial wrappings and let him go. What made Lazarus to come back to life? The prayer, so I spend down Linda Temudim. The prayer time. That's why John 14, Ore, do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? We are one. But what I'm telling you, I do not say because I want to say it. But I say it, I don't say it in my own authority or in my own accord. But guess what? The Father who lives continually in me, he does the works. I said, you know why? Every night, the Tenta Chajara, Kia charge. Hagifeza, Tate Modimo, one empower. La Kitsena, Coletamon la Bethesda. Bebele Erelina le, the gate, the 5. A gate number 1, Kidifofu. Gate number 2, arthritis. Gate number 3, mute people. Gate number 4, Baba Sautri. Gate number 5, here's this man. He's been crippled from birth for 38 years. What dambiwa? You know, aparte dike. Why osa furisa fofu? Why osa furisa wasa utri? Why osa furisa sabolela? Hasin. The Father in me. He's the one who's telling me who to heal and who not to heal. It's not me. The Father is the one who makes me to walk on the water. You know why? Because I'm connected to Him. Every time I'm recharging, when you pray, you communicate among the Father in heaven. No wonder why how to are we trying to go left or go right? Because why? How are connected? GPRS how is not connected. Bilungwiri. I get to show me batong. Kalasalam freya. Kimuri You know why? The Father is not there. Luke chapter 9. Luke chapter number 9. Luke chapter number 9. I'm reading from verse number 51. You can check it on the screen for the sake of time. Then I'll be finishing right now. Now, when the time was almost come for Jesus to be received up, he steadfastly and determinedly set his face to go to Jerusalem. And when the time for him to go up to heaven came, Matlwahai alibeleze Jerusalem. Kalabala Jerusalem arabolela before Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday kina kwela tsena ka Jerusalem ba moalla dikubo mofatse, which led to his crucifixion. Haire when the time if it clear Jesus must go back to the Father. Bebile re Matlwahai a etsang alibeleze Jerusalem. Matlwahai alibeleze kae? Jerusalem. Matlwaya level is again. Jerusalem. What I'm trying to say, you can't pray for BMW and get a Toyota. Matlwa how? Kwa level is ngote. Kemo gran karaba mote. Matlwa Jesu level is again. Jerusalem. So matlwa agas level BMW. Ewo creating Toyota. How konahal? Matlwa Jesu level is Jerusalem. Verse number 52. And he sent messengers before him, and they reached and entered Samaritan village to make things ready for Jesus. Matlo Jesu le beletse kae? Mara di messengers tsa hae Jesu o ba roma hore ba ye ko Samaria ba yo tlhoma tente hore a tlo starta crusade ko Samaria. Mara thapelo ya Jesu e lebeletse Jerusalem. Mara se se mmakatsang ha roma di barutwa ba hae o ba ra re ba ye kae ko motseng wa Samaria bo kra stadium ba prepare for tente o tlo rana crusade but bothata ba ka gore matlho a Jesu a lebeletse Jerusalem. You can't pray for BMW and get a Toyota. It's impossible. Verse number 53. But the people, the Samaritans, they would not welcome or receive Jesus because his face was going to Jerusalem. Ha tsena go Samaria batho bale ba mohana ba ai mistru o ka sera ni crusade mo Samaria ka go ba bloka di tsela ba bitsa ba fisa mataere ba hana Jesu a tlo rana crusade. Why? Because matlo luka ha re tlhalosetsa problem e go hore matlo a Jesu a lebeletse kae. So that means Jesus never prayed for this crusade e ileng go irala mo Samaria. No wonder why ma Samaria ba mo blogile or askebe a tlo ministry mo Samaria, because matlo a hae a lebeletse Jerusalem. So there's no way o ka rapella BMW ya bo kreya Toyota. So the reason why Jesus ba mo kubile mo Samaria ska rana ministry is because thapelo ya hae ine ile thapelo ya Jerusalem. That's why le nna ke ithutile the hard way or ha modimo mpitsa ko ira something in a certain place or ko rera somewhere tshwanetse ke rapelle pleke yo before ko gata maoto mo yone. Because hanka ya kwale lanka rera a powerful sermon bakaseya. That's why basamamela bakaseya muheli, because why? I never prayed for that place. So ministry was Jesus was centered around prayer. That's why no everything is successful, because why? Before I moyon. Mara this time, haya Samaria by ring because why? Matlo hai a level to Jerusalem. Nasa level Samaria. Murute ke promotion. Ke tlola merego ya somewhere. Question agora matlhao a lebeletse kae. Modimo ka tswang pele in this company bang abuse ba sampatele mara matlhwaka a lebeletse this company. Mara because of a better offer ke tloela mo matlhwaka le mo teng ke ya ke lebeletse ba ilong patela more money. Ha ke tsena kwale a se mo tshwantseng ke mo teng ke a rejectiwa whereas ke tlohetse mo ne matlho aka a le mo teng. You can't pray for a BMW and you get a Toyota. Matlho a Jesu a lebeletse Jerusalem. Mara bothata ba hae o rometse barutwa to the wrong place. That's why ba rejectile ministry wa hae a boele morao. Acts chapter number 12. I'm reading verse number 1. That's why mo mission mo di mampangona I'm very very careful. Kiske ka ya ka maikutlo. Everybody o ke associate le ene, no emotions. Ki ya mo matlhwaka a lebeletse mo teng. Acts chapter number 12. I'm reading verse number 1. Acts chapter 12, verse number 1. Verse number 1, about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to afflict and oppress some who belonged to the church assembly. Herod he's afflicting all the Christians. He wants to kill them. And he killed James, the brother of John, with a sword. James is one of the disciples. Verse number 3. And when he saw that it was pleasing to the Jews, he proceeded further and arrested Peter. Remember, yes. Then when he saw that it was pleasing to the Jews, he proceeded further and arrested Peter also. This was during the days of the unleavened bread. Unleavened bread, the Passover. So Passover, you can't kill people. Nobody can go to court. Now Peter ba mo tshwere ka beke e neng e le the Passover week. Verse number 4. And when he had seized Peter, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 guards of soldiers, of 4 each, to guard him, purposing that after the Passover to bring him forth to the people. As I've said, during the Passover week, there's no work that is done. You can't even attend a court case. So because ba mo tshwere during that time, ba mo latlhela go tronkong ba emele beke ya Passover e fete, so that le ena a tlo mo kgaola tlhogo ka sota. Na sa dlale dimane na bolaya in public. Verse number 5. So Peter was kept in prison. Ha le go tronkong. A fervent prayer for him was persistently made to God by the church. Kore verse usually ke bala ke iputsa ha ba ka ntshwara ke ba ka ba tlo nthapella. Ke ra accusation a tele wena wa yutlwa. Ho te ke rapile ngwana mo kerekeng ngwana tele na a itilisa mona le mona re ya desvar ya suta case motho go khalentre mona sa nya go nyala ka ntukukunela bana ba rona le tlo nthapella na or tlavele no di dia ka di condense le build a case or release e khoto le ba fe evidence ya ramtha go le khalentre re mona di mano go trongo mara kereke ba tshwere a fervent prayer persistently so for Peter since day one a tshwariwa kereke ya kopana ba mo rapella ba ira di cell group di cottage meeting di cell group mo malapeng ba rapella Peter hore Herota as ka mo khaola tlho ene tse ke di kangaroo court a ona sa re ya court o judge o teng khosi ha re le wa khaola tlhogo o khaola tso ba itse re Peter o ile bolaiwa. Verse number 6. The very night before Herod was about to bring him forth, before Herod a tlo mo khaola tlhogo ka osane, tonight Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers fastened with 2 chains, and sentries before the door were guarding the prison. Remember ba mietse masolama 4 like onto so one ka mo 2 e gatile mo gate go chance ya escape is very slim. No way this boy can escape. Verse number 7. And suddenly, immediately, out of nowhere, yang khopotsa Paul and Silas babina di feel in the middle of the night. Baby, suddenly at that moment an angel of the Lord appeared standing beside him, and a light shone in the place where he was. And the angel gently smote Peter, meaning and awakened him, saying, "Get up quickly." Hi Mella, the chains fell off his hands. Just like that. Why little? Tapelo, kereke ya morapel. Kereke ya morapel. Do you know intercession is an act of love? You can't pray for somebody that you hate. You can. You can nice amala uzana kwa today. Can. Eno lo tu ile nyalo, tsamo morapel tshone o ka se ke. You can't pray for somebody that you hate. So tsamo le bella tapelo, ona le move mo ne go lebeletse wa Tyler Perry. I think yeah, what Mad Black. Why would I cream on? Go cremile got movies in the Mad Black woman, something like that. You know, this woman has not telling na abuser. Ukopana le this guy nanzamu reject. Go filung uwela to this guy. Go workshop on your high. You know, this guy morare. This time kitwe easy ang ora utlalegana. This woman obeleze manzwa manka ukwele nat loka mo pelonyak. Omara are, I pray for you more than I pray for my master. No. Lauka naskobo yang wampoza manzwa. Ay. Shake everything amara. And I pray for you more than I pray for myself. Intercession, it's an act of love. They can't pray for Peter like this if abamorate this man. Verse number 8. And the angel said to him, "Tighten your belt and bind on your sandals." And he did so. And the angel said to him, "Wrap your outer garment around you and follow me." Verse number 9. And Peter went out along following the angel, and he was not conscious. He was not conscious that what was apparently being done by the angel, this is a real deal. As a toro. Lord. But thought, a vision. This thing is not happening really. Verse number 10. When they had passed through the first guard and the second, they came to the iron gate which leads into the city. And of its own accord, the gate swung. It swung open, and they went out and passed on through one street. And at once, the angel left him mostrate. Just like that. Change the like zona di kwetseng monya kwa trongo iputse le the outer gate ya trongo iputse lenyelo ya sta tsola go ntlo irang wa mo tlohela. Verse number 11. Then Peter came to himself, gonna realize or this is real, and he said, now I really know and I am sure that the Lord has sent his angel and delivered me from the hand of Herod and from all that the Jewish people were expecting to do to me. Tomorrow. Verse number 12. And when he at a glance became aware of this, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where a large number were assembled together. And they were Peter, the first stop, we are Kuntunyela. That means why is hore bembala pale ba morata go isa lefu. The first stop e re go feta pele ko teng go ba tlogela gore ba nna ke tswile mo teng kante ke mo kereke e kopanetse mo teng mo ba rapellang mo teng. That's why ke rileng ha ka re o le mo tsika tsike wana na ha be di mfounela ha ke braya not your friend. So ra e mo ntlunyela why you this house. Like I said, they are praying for me. Verse number 13. And when he knocked at the gate of the porch, a maid named Rhoda came to answer. By the way, Peter go kae go trongo mara they are not aware or wetsang o tswile ya no wa go kota mo ntlunyela ba busy mona go aratsiwa go jela rona ba zalona ra rapela mona re tlalana yo ke ra rasa e ka re modimo is baya fair van ons mara is no hiso wa ruto so go aratsiwa mo ntlong. Rhoda, which is a maid in that house, a young girl umunyane o utlwa motho ano kwa go gating wa tswa a tsena mo butler gate a tsena o bona ile Peter o mo feng o ba mo rapellang ka mo ntlong re modimo a mo lokolla kae go trongo ne. Verse 14. And when Rhoda recognized Peter's voice, in her joy, askabulela Peter, this young girl, she failed to open the gate, but she ran in and told the church that Peter was standing before the same guy. Ashule ke fetso mona mo gating wa kokota. Verse number 15. Then they said to her, manjais mal. Keraba to baba le mothapelo madu. Ora pelo ka di dem. Agijuru crazy to a guy within the Holy Spirit and craziness. You are crazy. But persistently again. She persistently and confidently affirmed that what I'm telling you is the truth. Pamarabara manjais mal. Ubonile nyeloi. Mangeloi analotla ele duplicate ya ka mo lefatsheng. O bone lona a o no re Peter ka tswa ko trongo ha o khone hore damana ka tswa ko trongo mara ba mo rapella persistently mara ha o khone hore damana a ka tswa ko trongo. Verse 16. But meanwhile Peter continued knocking, and when they opened the gate they saw him. They were amazed. Why are you amazed? You are amazed because you saw a miracle. A miracle is something that I'm not expecting it to happen. Mara, beke yo yotle. Kalere rasa kontlo be rapela bushubo bo rapela Peter lokol. Mara modimo arabile thapelo Peter o tlile mara still ha re dumele. Or ke Peter wa lokolotsweng. Why? Faith makes prayer work. Prayer does not make faith works. But ile kere ke mbatlo futla ke phefo ba rapela mara bana tumelo ya re modimo o tlile thapelo wa bone o ya rabile bile ba phadile ke ngwana o monnyane ke ena nile le tumelo ya re Peter o lokolotswe. Ko pola story se ke tswale ka sone pula ne sane for a long time, you know about the story. Mo motseng o mong ebe me ya rabitsa meeting wa community ba kopana ko holong. It was a big hall o tlo rapelwa pula ba biditse baruti bo botlhe ba le rona re teng mo le ka dipurapura o tletse go stage mona re tšhaka lo dilo baruti re yang ha bona crowd re tšhentšhana thapelo botlhe mo molomo wa tsena o nya go prove a point o re ya ka le yotlwile ke nna ke rapetseng ke le botse re pula tona 7 days a ka sene 7 days a se yone ke nna ke rapeletseng fine ra rapela ha ntse ba rapela immediately modimo a utlwa thapelo wa bone a lokolla le godimo pula yana pula le nele for 6 hours. Within the crowd, a young girl wa tshwana le Rhoda. Mama hae o mo reketse thoenyana ya umbrella. Ke ena a tlileng fela ka umbrella nyane nyane. All the crowd inside the hall, none of them brought an umbrella. Mara they came to pray for the rain. Whatsoever things you pray for, believe immediately how it is granted to you, and you shall do what? You shall get it. Ba mantsi re tla re expectile re tlo rapella something mara modimo o sa araba expect ha o rapella koloi make sure garage ya hilo ko ntlong make sure ba bang re rapella Mr. Right le Mrs. Right mara you don't get yourself right ke sign ya ho leka faith ke batla nyalo mara you are not prepared for marriage life hanga busoro ba tlo nyala o tlo mpotsa ka wedding day wa itse mo tsatsi le ke nyalang stage sa ka se tla le mablomo nya go ipona ke apere mosera o mo yellow o mo gray ha se le nyalo it's a wedding day you are not ready for a wedding day. I mean you are not ready for marriage but you are ready for a wedding day. Just put faith in what you pray for, you'll see it will happen. Ntwe ngwe modimo ya batla mo phelong ba hao o se chapeleng tumelo wa utlwa wa rapela wa utlwa o bolela ka ditebo wa utlwa man mara o nya go bona gore ana o na le tumelo because tumelo ke yone mpontshang gore nkomo wa dumela se la bala James o rileng ha isna it's dead so modimo mpona gaeng ka the preparation season kona mpona gore this guy already for this thing. I mean bona Jesus it took 3 years to prepare the disciples 3 years before aba release ba tsama ba le 1. He prepared them for 3 years. So that has not amai. He was creating a level of faith on the inside of them before he can release them. So anything so rappelang, unyako bona your action, how prepared are you for this thing? Then he will do it. Just like that. So one day tabaya building project is amaya. No, it's a mashup. Ke this amount, that is 0.6. Ke tsentsha go kae? Hesh, ka utlwa le nempere ka itse. Tsa le mona ba rekile cake ya go ulwetse nje. Mara ka utlwa question le nempere ka gore Thabo you are not ready. Kalo confessor building, mara ona account number. Ke ena mkhosi ngore ke ye go bula. Ha sne ke bula moruti tšha go le ena wa mfounela ke tla banking re tlo bula account. Moruti tabele ya building e tsa magae. Hape kereke ya ka re batlo planta city. Ko pon romela account number ya building immediately ka ke tlha ke tshwere lengolo teng ka mo romela yone ke ra shio monna modimo ya mpontso re ne ntse tshwere menyako account number e modimo nanya go bona action ya faith or do you believe in what you've been confessing all these years? So anything so sira modimo o nya go bona an action ya faith behind the scene o ka nna rapela why you tla thapelo a mara bothata keng you are not ready for eno ska lebala le he o rapela ho sna tumelo ne modimo yena he fulfills the promise why araba yena mara bothata keng yo fitlhela go kae imagine ona bana go rapela dikoloi tse 5 le wena go ntlong ya hao le 1 ha o lekane ka mo jarteng ya hao mara we are praying for 5 cars ha o lekane le mo jarteng ya hao le 1 mara we are praying for 5 modimo yena wa tshepahala he will release the 5 cars and guess what that blessing becomes a burden to you o tlo tla go malapeng a rena o tlo go pa spaces sa o phaka nna ka so tswele re tlo charge and o shedi khiri tlo nantse re berekisa re tlo plan ka yona because why o rapetse o ne o se prepared tumelo e bontsha action behind the scene ya gore I am ready for this thing. So little the encouragement ke le fang yone today, center your mission around prayer and believe motho wa modimo. Put a faith in what you are doing and you will see God will do the rest in your life. Anything so rappelang, it's still available. Maramudim, when you go to put your action of faith behind the prayer that you release. Father, we thank you this evening. I bless each and every person. I know the devil is waiting for them to steal the word behind the scene. But as this message is not meant to condemn, but it's meant Mudimu, to encourage them to instill faith into their prayer. All of us, the petitions, certainly some more, but the question is, are we ready, Mudimu, for the answer we listen towards us? Believer today, as from today, Mudimu, to prepare behind the scene for the harvest that is coming our way. You are faithful to your promise. We give you the honor and the glory because they belongs to you. In the only name that makes sense, the name of Jesus. And somebody say, amen.